Big boy's got to go to work.
Big boy's got to go to work, Murphy.
It's not just Murphy.
How it is.
What are you talking to my dog?
That's what I was telling the dog.
So
Big boy's got to go to work.
Are you ready to roll on the podcast?
I'm ready to roll.
Remember what you said at dinner?
Yes, I do, and you got me again.
How'd I go?
Fantastic. You did really, really well.
So we're sitting at dinner tonight, and John said to me, "Oh, look, the thing with this, you starting the recording," he goes, "I'm listening out for it now." And I said, "Don't worry, I'll work really, really hard to make sure that I don't trick you." And here we are. So
and you did it straight in there. I just did not expect that. I was talking, I was putting on baby voices for a dog.
for my puppy dog.
Look, Greg's little puppy.
My little puppy dog.
Hello, puppy.
He's 25 kilos.
25 kilos of killer teeth.
He's a Doberman.
He's beautiful.
He's
so
a Doberman.
beautiful.
Do you know he's a Doberman?
No,
he's not. Everyone who looks at him, though, says he is a Doberman.
Baby Doberman.
He's not. He's a Kelpie Labrador.
Yeah,
Kelpador. But anyway, this week's podcast, for those of you that are listening, is it's a very popular song. It's a very popular song in the 80s, and from a very popular artist that was around at the time. And you would know who she is if you've ever seen a really tall palm tree, for example. You would see that's like a statue of this person. I'll explain a bit more about that later.
Yeah, I'm wondering where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's a statue of that person. But it is, this week, the world's weirdest job advertisement.
Если я чешу в затылке, не беда. В голове моей опилки, да. Но хотят там и опилки, но кричалки и вопилки.
Welcome along this week, beautiful listeners, to our podcast called But I Won't Do That.
Yes, welcome to all the beautiful listeners, to the rest of you. Well, hello to you as well.
But we can see what everyone looks like now because they're in our Facebook group, which is really, really cool. If you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, make sure it's in the show notes, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Their Facebook group's in the show notes. But you can just search for But I Won't Do That on Facebook and go to the group and say hello and meet. We got John X is in our group.
Is he really fantastic?
Yeah, very famous.
Good to know.
He's when I saw that pop up, I was like,
good stuff.
We've made it.
If
John X is in our group, we've made it.
Don't know where we've made it to, but that's better than Bon Jovi because he only got halfway there. We've made it.
I always thought that was a song about him going to the toilet.
I can see that. You know what? We might have to cover it in a future podcast.
He's sort of like, I'm halfway there, hanging by a hair.
Well, you'd think they'd be about 3/4 of the way by now. That's all I'm saying. It's just a statistical, it's like when we did, the lads who walked 500 miles.
Yes,
it's
the
like
Proclaimers.
a logistical, you're not halfway there anymore.
It was all the way back in episode 1.
When it was black and white back then.
We were animated in black and white. We were hand drawn.
We were hand drawn by Disney cartoonists.
You can't say the D word. It's bad enough that I had to put in a disclaimer.
Oh, the legal issues.
For a few weeks ago, you talking about the Nazis, and now you're talking about Disney.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
You know they're Nazis.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now I'm going to have to do a disclaimer for this week's episode.
And if we messed up the disclaimer, we'll have to do a disclaimer
for the disclaimer
and just clear it all up perfectly.
I actually, if you're deaf and listening to this.
Try deaf listeners, yeah.
Oh gosh, now I've got to do a disclaimer for that.
I'm signing. It's all right.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm signing. It'll be fine.
I don't think, is that Australian Sign Language that you're doing?
Yes, it is.
Wow, you're better than I thought you were.
I'm brilliant. Can you hear my hands wafting around? You probably can't. Probably not that quick that you can hear them in front of the microphone.
He's just sitting there with his middle fingers up at me. It's Australian Sign Language.
Australian Sign Language for,
Eshay mate, Eshay mate. I just changed the name of my mobile phone to Eshay mate.
For strangers. You see, that's a joke that you're projecting out to strangers because when they connect with you or they see who is available, they'll be like, what? I like that you've got a little landmine out in society.
Yeah, so if you're in an airport and people are searching for Wi-Fi, it just says, Eshay mate.
I like
people have a quiet giggle. Anyway, we're here. I keep going, hey, let's start. And I think of something else to say. So I was talking with Gaynor earlier today, and she listened to one of our previous podcast. Thank you, Gaynor, for listening to a podcast. And she did say that she doesn't need you because she gets us talking in real life in the kitchen and all that sort of stuff, and that's enough.
She's already sick of it.
Yeah, she's sick of us. But one of the things that she said, she goes, I was listening to your podcast for 15, 20 minutes before we actually got into the song.
Really?
And I'm like,
would we be so unprofessional? I doubt that. It cannot be more than 16. Surely not. I'm outraged.
So
absolutely, she's probably right.
I think she's definitely right, but that's okay. Thank you for sticking with us while we be incredibly silly, and we love that you're here. So, what we'd love you to do as well is just jump into the Facebook group if you're on it, and just tell us which one has been your favourite podcast so far, or which one you haven't liked so far. No, we don't want bad press.
If it's bad press, I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, you don't really. Do you have Facebook? Apart from
I'm there from time to time.
You got your Rent-A-Gent profile.
Yeah, I've got that. Just search for Rent-A-Gent. It's out there.
We'll announce in the next podcast as well. There is a photo competition as well in the next podcast, which will go back to. So, what will be? There'll be some photographs that we're going to put on our Facebook page in the next podcast, and once they're up, you can win stuff. I got the hiccups.
I got the hiccups. You got the hiccups?
That's not a good thing to have on a podcast. That's like being an Olympic athlete and developing a limp.
That's not good.
Oh, I know. Okay.
We'll be all right. It might be funny. It might work in.
Big deep breaths. It's because we scoffed our dinner.
We did. It was good, though.
Do you want to tell everyone what I cooked you?
We had ribs.
I
rarely have ribs.
18 hours.
They were awesome.
Low cooked. Yeah, but you had your ribs removed, remember?
My ribs? Surgically?
Wasn't that for a special project you were working on?
Yes, it was. To make me look more slender. Boy, do I look slender.
Anyway, I'll have to tell John what that joke's all about when we're off air. Because he'll probably belt the crap out. Oh, he's mouthing, I know.
I know, yeah. I know we can get into. I just decided to derail this train.
Oh, you're cleaning that.
I went cleaning.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, this week's podcast, as I said, is a pop hit, yeah, she'd be a pop star, I suppose, from the 1980s, and she does look a lot like a palm tree, in my opinion. It is, of course, the amazing Tina Turner with a song called Private Dancer. Have you heard this song, John?
I haven't listened to it recently, but I do remember it definitely from the 80s. I remember it being on. I remember the music video.
What else do you remember?
I remember her singing the song. I remember her dancing around with guys, or a guy in the video. It was
how old?
But that's about it.
She was about 150 years old when she did that.
I imagine Private Dancer is in the 80s. I did my some of my teens in the 80s.
See, I did from 19... Yeah, I did all my teens in the 80s. Yeah. We born the same year?
Yes.
72.
3. I'm 3.
I'm 72.
73. You're 72. Yeah. You're older than me.
I was born in 1972 during the Vietnam War.
I don't give a shit. I'm the young one. I'm the phone.
It is, of course, Private Dancer. So, my one of the things that I love about this song is this is the song that I sing in a supermarket when I want to give my wife the pip.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So it's slightly society. You use it. It's not just a song you listen to. It's something you've got to...
Do you want to hear how I do it?
Yeah, do it.
I've been coming in these places and the men are all the same.
That would annoy her. My just jumping in. My neighbour sings show tunes when he and his wife are arguing.
Oh, that's gold.
So they're arguing, and he's going, "The Phantom of the Opera," slamming a door.
How's it work? Does it work well?
No, she doesn't sound very happy. Later on, I did hear her, "Get off me, Greg!" coming from the
Is
house.
Greg his name?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's have a chat about Tina Turner, who was, of course, very famous since the early 1900s. She was actually born in 1742. And
story checks out.
Yep, she's still alive today. She is 900 years old. Bit of quick maths there.
Yep.
If you don't agree with those maths, you're on the wrong podcast. This is, of course, I should remind everyone, we are not music historians. We just talk about lyrics.
Definitely not. We know almost nothing. Like, we know some things. Yeah. Like, we know what a guitar is and a piano is, and we know... I mean,
Okay, so name this instrument, John.
A flute.
Yes,
Brilliant.
great.
All right, see? We know a bit, but...
So as I said,
just talk about the lyrics.
I want to look at this through a filter of the world's strangest job advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pretend that you've seen a job advertisement and you've come in and I'm hiring you for a job.
You're hiring me? Yeah.
Yeah. And this is one of the things we did in our last podcast. I think it was our last podcast, which was the girl band, what's called the Spice Girls, with Wannabe, which is what I Googled. It ended up being called Wannabe. So we talked about it as a discussion towards the end of the podcast. Do you remember that? Like,
yes, I do.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. There was just a snippet from last week.
Mm-hmm. You edited that in so nicely.
You didn't even notice.
No,
it was
seamless.
Seamless, thank you. It was almost like I just changed voices mid-sentence.
I don't know. Anyway.
No one can do that, did you know?
No, I know. Yeah. It's crazy.
And if you're playing along at home, dogs can't look up. Anyway. You've come for the job interview and I'm explaining the job to you. So let's have that sort of conversation. You're here for the job interview.
Yes.
For the job, of course, you know the job is for a private dancer.
Private dancer, yes. Well, that's what I'm here for.
And we're just going to talk about it.
Okay.
So is there anything you want to ask me to start with about the job?
No. I'm quite happy. I'm happy to just go into the interview. I don't have any questions at this stage.
Well, your resume looks great.
Thank you.
And your photos are...
I know. Look, I made an effort. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
And it's good to see you part to the left as well. A lot of girls these days, they part right down the middle, but you part to the left, which is nice.
I like to make an effort.
So a little bit about the venue. So all the men come in these places.
Well, I would have thought so. I would have thought so. All of them. Like, hold on. All of the men.
All of the men come in these places.
Like, there's like 2 billion men in China. Mm-hmm. All the men?
All of the men.
What? Half the population? That's crazy. You guys must be rich.
So in the beginning I asked...
I'm going to make some good money. I'm sorry I've said that right.
I did ask if you wanted to ask some questions, so it's very cool for you to do that. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's great.
And the men are all the same. Mm-hmm.
All of them. Mm-hmm. They're all the same. Like, so all the 2 billion Chinese men, and take maybe a dozen Australian men and 14 Afghani men, and maybe a sprinkling from various areas around the world, maybe some people of indigenous to some nations.
Yeah,
they're all the same.
Do you want to know how you know?
How?
You don't look at their faces.
Oh, what do you look at?
You don't, and you don't ask their names.
Well, I suppose that'd help not to know their name.
That's how come they're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't, to be honest, don't fully understand that, but I'm just, I don't know. I've got it in my head. It's probably a bit racist, but like a Chinese man looks a bit different to an Italian man. It's racist, and I'm sorry, but that's just... I'll get over it.
I think I can help you with that.
Got to be a bit more PC.
I think I can help you with that. No, it's okay. You don't have to be PC here, because here at Tina Turner's Private Dance Studio, and I'm the one that stopped drinking alcohol for the moment. You don't think of them as human.
Oh, okay. What do you think of them as?
What would you like to? Actually, go on.
I'd suggest maybe squirrels.
Yeah. Well,
could you think of them as squirrels? I mean, there's a lot of them. It would reduce the but.
Well, I don't. I don't, because you don't think of them at all.
That's going to be, considering the job, it'd be quite. I imagine it's going to be quite difficult not to think about them at all. Like, wow, this might be a challenging job. Okay.
You keep your mind on the money.
You know what? I am in. I like that. I'm so in. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking money, because you guys have got all the men as customers. Like, you are raking it in, man. Oh, this is going to be like working at Google. Done. Count me. Sorry. I'm just so excited. I haven't had this kind of opportunity in a long time. I hope it doesn't get weird.
So you're not going to get distracted, I hope, with this. Like, because if you do, we want you to be keeping your eyes on the wall.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Which wall? Is it a beautiful, interesting wall?
Nope. No, just see over there where that green exit sign is. It's kind of going. Bzz,
yeah.
bzz,
Yeah.
bzz.
Yeah.
So it does it for a few more times. Bzz.
Yeah.
That one.
It does it a few times, doesn't it?
Bzz.
Did it again.
Yep. I'm your private dancer.
Wait, what? I thought...
Dancer for money. I'll do what you want me to do.
Oh, is this the sales spiel?
Yeah.
Right.
You picked it up.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is what we'd like you to be saying.
Oh, it was working because I thought you were almost saying that you are my private dancer.
No. Have you ever done multi-level marketing before?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
The plastic shit that you put food in. That's the one. Tupperware. You know, I did it for so many years. I'm amazed I couldn't remember and called it plastic stuff.
Well, this is very, very, very similar to Tupperware in a lot of ways.
I can imagine it is. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, there is.
You know, when I was in Tupperware, there was a lot of staring at the walls too.
Yeah. Well,
admittedly, it wasn't all of the men, but it was mainly women that bought, and probably not enough. You know.
Mostly it's like Tupperware because we like you to, in this job, focus on the freshness.
Freshness?
Yeah, that's right. You know, a bit of personal hygiene doesn't go astray.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this job.
Well, I expect a bit of, I hold myself to standards, don't you worry.
So would you like to try the line now? The one.
The line of white powder you've got on your desk?
No, not that one. That's for later. No, the line I just gave you, the sales pitch line, if you just read from I'm... Yes, let's see if you can carry that off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, certainly. I'm your private dancer. Mm-hmm. A dancer for money. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Okay, that's really good. Really good. Yeah, you really did that well.
Thank you. Thank you. And I didn't know what you were kind of going, what's kind of vibe. I didn't want to go for heroin addict or, nuclear physicist, so I just went for kind of a more,
So I'm going to ask now some questions about you, and I just want you to answer this as best as you can.
Right.
Like maybe some goal-setting stuff, So is there any particular music that you like to dance to?
Any old music will do.
Any old music will do, okay. Yeah. And what about financial goals?
Well, I don't know. Hold on, I'm just doing a few calculations in my head, and you know what? I reckon we'll do it. $1 million.
So you want to make $1 million?
I want to make $1 million.
And where would you live?
I want to live, I don't know, I want to smell seagulls. And I want to smell chips. I don't know, I want to live out by the sea.
Oh, by yourself?
I mean, for a while, but I really like to have a husband and some children.
Yeah?
I guess I want a family.
Well, all the men come in these...
All the men?
Yeah.
You sit like... Sorry, I'm still not wrapping my head around this.
Yeah.
All the men? I just don't... Wow. Your infrastructure...
Yeah.
The computer programs... It must be amazing.
Well, of course, we're open 24 hours a day.
24 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
Must be like fucking revolving doors. Sorry.
We have 3 revolving doors.
3?
Yes. Two ins and 1 out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The out gets a bit jammed. We probably didn't think that one through too much.
It probably keeps people in a bit longer.
But no, it does. But we don't notice as much because the men are all the same.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and you'll notice...
It would all just blend after a while, wouldn't it?
Well, you notice we don't have any security cameras.
There's no point.
We don't look at their faces.
No, that's right. And you know what? You can give the savings back to the customer.
That's right. We pass the savings on to you. And of course, you'll notice that a lot of the gentlemen are wearing name badges with nothing on them.
Because they're all the same.
Because we don't ask their names.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's try it again. I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. I'll do what you want me to do. And you can go now.
I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. I'll do what you want me to do.
And any old music will do. What about Deutschmarks or dollars?
I'm thinking probably gold.
Gold?
Actually, no, you know what? You know how I like to get paid?
Go on.
American Express.
Okay, but
will do nicely. Thank you.
Where are they going to swipe it if you're a private dancer? You know, that was the only joke I prepared.
Really? I was the one that went... I was the one that didn't go the obvious joke. I'm thinking, we've already got lawyers breathing down their necks. We don't. It's okay. We don't have lawyers breathing down our neck.
Who is that then breathing down my neck?
That's the dog.
You know, that's the longest we've stretched a joke out, I think. I hope that wasn't too long to stretch a joke out to, like, be, you know, pretending to be in a job interview.
I think it's fine. I think it's for, you know what?
Because I actually got quite caught up in the character.
I'm sorry, Grant. I'm going to ignore the people listening, Grant.
Okay,
you know what?
We'll be back in a sec, guys. John and I are just having a chat. Go ahead.
They'll get used to it. You know what I mean? Eventually, after a few podcasts, they'll go, these idiots go in any weird direction.
I got so caught up in the character, I was ready to give you the job.
Wait.
Yeah, like you were going to start tomorrow.
$1 million?
Yeah, you have the potential to make it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I figure if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. It's up to you. Oh no, wrong song. Wrong song. Yeah, but like as soon as you said American Express, and I just pictured them swiping it in your swiper. It's like Dora the Explorer.
That's not what I imagined.
No,
anyway.
Okay.
No.
I'm embarrassed now.
Yeah. No, I went rude in my head and tried and diverted. Abort.
Can I finish these next two lines in my Tina Turner voice?
Please do.
Let me loosen up your collar, tell me you wanna see me do the shimmy again.
It was like she's in the room.
She is in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, Tina Turner. Yay! Yay! Thank you very much. It's so nice to be here. I don't know if that's how she sounds. That sounded like Eric Cartman with peanut butter on the roof of his mouth.
It sounded
Why did you kill Kenny?
It's like the aliens made a human being and didn't quite finish their voice off properly and just kicked him out. Oh, he'll be fine.
He can go work as a private dancer. I'm Marvin the Martian.
That's where the aliens need to. The aliens are infiltrating and they are kicking out humans who have, that aren't quite right.
I have a question
from their spacecraft.
Have you ever in your life, and you don't have to answer this if you think it will incriminate you, I'm happy to answer the question
Depends
myself.
on the statute of limitations, really.
Have you ever in your life been to a gentleman's club where there are quote-unquote private dancers?
No, I haven't.
Fair dinkum.
No. Oh. Yes. Once.
There you go.
Yes.
How old were you?
I was probably mid-20s.
Okay, well that's about the age.
And it was terrible, and it was in it was in Sydney, and it smelt weird, and I did not like it. I don't know why. My friend took me there. It was like a Thursday afternoon, and I'm like, what are we doing? And it was not sexy. It was just weird smelling.
Your response is like I'm your mum and I've caught you going to a strip club. Now, John, did you go to a strip club? Yes, I did, and it was weird and smelly. I didn't like it.
Look, I'd love to tell a brilliant story, but it was just weird.
I didn't like it, Mum. It smelled funny, and the ladies had nipples.
I'll do some research. I'll go to another one, a better one. Actually, there aren't any.
We live in, just for those who are listening interstate, we live in Hobart, Tasmania. There is one strip club for the whole state.
And I've never been in it.
Everyone gets in on a family ticket.
Yeah, bring the kids. It's great. They've got a playground out the back.
They serve Happy Meals. I have been to several in my life. Can I share one or two funny stories about my experiences?
Please do.
So there was one that I went to for my Bucks night. Mm-hmm. And it's probably, I don't know if it's still there or not. It was in Dandenong in Victoria. It's called Club Shoop.
Yep.
Anyway, we went back there, I don't know why, another time afterwards, maybe to relive the memories of my Bucks night. And I ended up paying a young lady $20 to put her clothes back on.
it was saucy. An Irish strip. That's a bit kinky.
An Irish strip.
An Irish strip. I'll put my clothes on, love. She walks in naked, puts a kit on. She goes.
Does the dishes.
Yeah, brilliant.
And the other time, probably the best time, and this is my favourite story of and by the way, I don't think strip clubs are good. I don't like degrading women. That whole ball of wax. So I'm not advocating to go to a strip club. So don't misunderstand me, anyone. But we went to one on King Street in Melbourne. So King Street is famous for that kind of club, right? And it was the 90s. So I was in my 20s, and Neighbours was quite a famous TV show back then. Toadie from Neighbours. You remember Toadie?
You met him at the strip club?
No, let me tell the story.
I was just throwing that out.
Let me tell the story.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember. I remember Toadie from Neighbours. Grant, yes, I do.
And there was another character in Neighbours. I can't remember what his name was, but anyway, a tall blonde guy, Michaels or something like that. Anyway, we were at this strip club, and it was around the time. If anyone's seen the Underbelly TV series. With the gangland style murders and all that sort of stuff in Melbourne. It was around the time that all that was going on. I was working in a restaurant in Frankston in Victoria. This was around the time of the Frankston murders as well. So it's about 1993. And
did they ever get you for that?
No. Oh, come on.
Grant, he's not a murderer. That was a joke.
I killed some pork ribs tonight, though.
You certainly did. Anyway, sorry.
So anyway, all this is going on. We are completely unaware. I'm working in this restaurant in Frankston. My boss had recently been shot, which then later on ended up being part of that Underbelly TV series, right?
Yeah,
his name's Rocky. I think he might be dead now, but he was part of that whole underground gangland sort of thing. Yep. And we went into this strip club, and they've got private rooms in there where there's obviously private dancers.
Yeah.
And we're a bit drunk, and we walk into this room, and there's the 3 or 4 of the guys who are actors on Neighbours, one of them being Toadfish.
Yeah.
And so we've got a skinful. We walk in, and we're just standing there, and, you know, they've got a couple of dancers, and there's some pretty famous people around, and we're wearing nice clothes, and we're standing there, and all of a sudden, one of the actors just turns around and goes, "Who the F are you?" Except he wasn't polite about it. He goes, "Who the F are you?" And we go, and I'm the only one with my wits about it. I go, "We're with the Toad Man." Anyway, these big bouncers came, and I've never been, until this day, I'd never been picked up by the collar and the belt before. Yeah. And so we all got picked up by the collar and the belt
and thrown out
onto the footpath.
Like a movie. Yeah.
And I just remember Toadie, if you're listening, if you remember this, that would be amazing. He stood at the doorway, and he's like, "And don't you effing come back."
I wonder if we could get him to play himself in the movie of your life.
Who'd play me?
I don't know yet. Probably we'll get, some young, good-looking actor. Oh. But anyway, Toadie can play himself in the movie we're going to make it. You know, we've been talking about it. Don't act ignorant. We're going to make a movie about Grant's life. No, sorry, was it Spielberg? Spielberg was on the phone? Anyway, sorry, I probably can't talk about that.
You've said too much.
I've said too much. I've spilt the beans again.
But what I can do...
I said too much.
What I can do is I can play the soundtrack of that movie right now.
Oh, great. I'd love to hear it.
Запилки, пум-пурум, тарам, вопилки, пум-пум-пум-пум. Если я чешу в затылке, не беда. В голове моей опилки, да. Но хотят там и опилки, но кричалки и вопилки, а также шумелки, пыхтелки и сопелки сочиняю я неплохо иногда. Да. Хорошо живет на свете Винни-Пух, оттого поет он эти песни вслух. И неважно, чем он занят, если он худеть не станет, а ведь он худеть не станет, если, конечно, вовремя подкрепиться. Да. Трам-парам-пам-парам-пам-пам-па. Пум-пурум-пу-пум-пурум-пу-трам-пам-па. Пум-пурум-пу-пум-пум-пум. Пум-пум-пум-пум-пум-пум. Хорошо живет на свете Винни-Пух, оттого поет он эти песни вслух. И неважно, чем он занят, если он толстеть не станет, а ведь он толстеть не станет.